6.5%. I would now like to focus on inflation. The heightened inflation levels in July and August at 7.4% and 6.8% respectively were largely driven by food price pressures. Vegetables, with a weight of around 6% in CPI basket, contributed to about one-third of CPI headline inflation in July and to around one-fourth of overall inflation in the month of August. Sustained inflationary pressures in cereals, pulses and spices added to the overall food inflation. On the positive side, core inflation softened to 4.9% during July and August. It has eased by around 140 basis points, 140. It has eased by around, that is, core inflation has eased by around 140 basis points from its recent peak in January 2023. Further disinflation of the core component is critical for price stability. As evident from our survey, there is further progress on anchoring of inflation expectations, which entered single-digit zone for the first time since COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this is a part of the surveys which we have done, so let me repeat this sentence for better clarity. As evident from our survey, there is further progress in anchoring of inflation expectations, which entered single-digit zone for the first time since COVID-19 pandemic, and the numbers are given in the footnote. While near-term inflation is expected to soften on the back of vegetable price correction, especially in tomatoes, and the reduction in LPG prices, the future trajectory will be conditioned by a number of factors. For Kharif crops, the area sown under pulses is below the level a year ago. Kharif onion production also needs to be watched closely. Demand-supply mismatches in spices are likely to keep these prices at elevated levels. The inflation trajectory will also be shaped by the El Nino conditions and global food and energy prices. In fact, global food and energy prices, if you see, over the last several months, they have been considerably volatile and they require careful monitoring, but that imparts further uncertainty to the inflation outlook. Taking into account all these factors, CPI inflation is projected at 5.4%. That is same as what we had projected earlier. And if there are questions, we will explain it during the press conference that follows usually my statement. Now, taking into account these factors, CPI inflation is projected at 5.4% for 23-24, with second quarter, that is Q2, at 6.4%, Q3 at 5.6%, and Q4 at 5.2%. The risks are evenly balanced. CPI inflation for the first quarter of next financial year, that is 24-25, is projected at 5.2%.